and welcome to the Free Cheese, episode 337. I'm your Joe Dix, joined by Matt Zellner.
Hello.
The Free Cheese is a weekly video game podcast about video games brought to you once a week by thefreecheese.com. Welcome back, Matt.
Hello.
337. It's the only time we're ever going to do a 337.
Correct.
It's a beautiful day so far. It's still freezing cold outside thanks to February air. How you doing?
Fine. I'm bundled up. Got a jacket, a scarf, a hoodie, and then a shirt underneath. So 3.5 layers.
I ran to the Wawa, and I was walking out, and I was like, oh, I am underdressed, because I looked at my watch, saw it said 28, and I was like, I'm going to be a little, totally fine. Look at that. Worked out. Felt great. Felt warm. Actually, I'm sweating right now.
Well, I mean, you drove to the Wawa, though, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But sometimes that little in-between moment, you're like, fuck this, I didn't put enough on. But put too much on, I'd say.
That's doubtful. Okay. Sure.
I'm over here sweating. I'll tell you what, look at this.
It is a little stuffy in here.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Got that. I think I did kill the heat, though, so we'll get it nice and cold down here. Probably. What else is going on? Last couple weeks.
Well, the reason why we didn't show up last week,
Of
week
course.
1 of the XFL.
Of course. Well, you were there. I was in line at the theater to see Sonic the Hedgehog. Made it all the way to the front of the line, and they said, hey, we're sold out of tickets. And I said, but I have my ticket. And they said, sir, please leave. And I said, all right, I guess I'll go home and watch
Give
it by
them a
myself.
nice knuckle sandwich.
Yeah, so I just watched the old Jaleel White cartoon for 48 hours straight, and here we are.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the XFL.
Mm.
It's fine.
And we don't have a team, right?
DC Defenders. That's the market team for us.
All right. It's a bad name.
And
I probably said that before when we talked about them last.
I don't think I knew the name until last week. So,
Who'd you root for?
the market team. Why not?
They played? Like, what was the... Did they put all 32 teams on one field at once?
8 teams.
Okay.
And 4 games. So 2 teams per game.
Interesting.
No, it's actually like it's football with some modified rules and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get into the rules,
But
but
it's on Fox, right?
dude, it is on Fox and ESPN. Each game, so every game is going to be nationally televised in separate time slots. So at the NFL, there's like 8 games at 1
And
o'clock.
you're going to watch them all at once, yeah.
Yeah, like you can do Red Zone or do like
Yeah.
a game like Sunday Ticket or whatever. This like every game is separated, so you can watch every single one.
Are they about as long as a football game?
Yeah, it's like it's traditional football.
Yeah.
Pretty much, except for a couple minor rules. But the broadcast stuff is great. So, a couple of things they do. They have the coaches mic'd up. So, like, they'll just cut to the coaches just yelling out these plays, and it's like, it's your football banter. So, like, you're sitting there like, what the fuck are they saying? But it's great because then the color commentator actually has a job where it's like, oh, he just said YCL. That means this route is about to come. And he'll highlight the dude
Cool.
on the thing and be like, all right, so depending on the read, he's going to either go this way or this way in the route tree. And it's like, it's awesome. So I'm learning like little...
Well, I this is scary to me. I'm just curious. Do you feel like this is doing it better than NFL has? Because NFL's kind of...
Broadcasting, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it hasn't changed in 30 years. It's just been the same shit.
Not really, except for Tony Romo.
Except for that year after the Matrix when they got a bunch of cameras in the end zone so that you could do the Matrix thing. I remember that at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That was just for Super Bowl Sunday. That's it. There's only one game of the year.
So, like, they got that, so that's really cool. They have a dude on the sideline, like, just ready to just go up to a player whenever. So, first game, was it DC's kicker? I don't remember. It might have been DC's kicker, but dude missed a 30-some yard field goal.
Okay.
And usually that kicker just goes over and sulks and then just waits for his next opportunity. No. Microphone in his face in less than 3 minutes after him missing a kick.
Asking him how he feels.
Yeah, exactly. All the bullshit sports questions. So, like, you get that raw emotion. Some dude missed the censor button on another guy because he dropped an F-bomb. And then the next 4 seconds of that interview.
TV? Sick.
The next 4 seconds of his interview were muted because of they were panicking and hit the censor button.
I wonder, because Fox is owned by Disney now, and Disney does not fuck around with that kind of stuff. I wonder how that's going to shake out.
That's going to be one of those, like, bring the commissioner into the network room.
Yeah.
You got to We gotta stop this. And then the other thing that was really cool, video replays. So whenever they go to the booth and there's that dude and whatever calling it. Well, in the NFL this year, there's been a lot of like bad calls or calls just didn't make sense, and all you get is the referee's explanation. Dude, in this, they have the dude mic'd up. So, like, he's talking to the referee on the field, and, like, they mic him up. So everything he's saying to the ref, you hear. So he's, like, looking at the replay, and you can just hear him saying out loud what he's seeing, and then you kind of hear him and the ref come to a conclusion. It's great. It's, like, super transparent on all these calls and whatever.
Do you think that the NFL is paying close attention to this, or do you think that they think it's just like, whatever, fuck this, who cares?
The NFL was smart. Yeah. Maybe, I would say maybe this dismissed it week one because I think everyone thought it was a joke.
Sure.
Like, I did. Like, I watched it, not expecting much.
Yeah,
but
thinking, yeah.
Hell, I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
And then I think this week the NFL should seriously look into what they're doing and to how they adjust it based off feedback from week one. I don't think they can get away with the sideline reporter thing, especially the NFL. There's a lot of egos, especially all these people getting paid. Yeah. But, dude, that transparency.
That could change it, though, if you start giving an ego to the smaller guy, right?
See, the thing is, the XFL is not big enough, so it is a controlled environment from the commissioner and, like, there's no PA yet, from the commissioner point of view. So, like, if a player is getting unruly, they can probably just throw him out. There's, like, no contracts. These players are making like 30, 40,000 just to be in the league, and then each win nets their team $100K. So it's like an extra $2,200 per win for these players. So they're out there like giving it their all just to get a paycheck.
How does that? Do they do that in NFL? Like, does the team?
No, because they have a players union and it's all protected and whatever.
This is cool.
Yeah.
Weird, but cool.
But like eventually the XFL, like if it was to go on, of course it would probably make more money from TV deals, and then they can start doing that kind of stuff. But because there's no players, there's no union, the XFL kind of has the final say in all these things.
And who are these players? Are they people who didn't make the NFL?
Kind of a combination of. There used to be this football league that they tried to do but failed. It was called the AAF. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of like those players because it like ended like a year and a half ago. Mm-hmm. So they came over. A lot of like fourth stringers in the NFL or practice squad players that rather just play than just be on a practice squad. So like I heard a former Ravens name that I didn't hear for like 2 years. There's a couple people, and then like. There was someone, they were talking about a story. This guy failed out of school, but because of the XFL, he can play in the XFL until he's able to declare for the draft this upcoming April.
Whoa. So
he gets, like, advanced tape over these other college dudes. And, yeah, he failed academically, and that would probably, like, hurt his draft spot. But he has an opportunity to show, like, his skill in another way, like, outside of just college. So... a lot of weird opportunity, and they are smart about it. The commissioner, I forget his name, is not Vince McMahon.
So did he show up at all?
I did not see him. That's not to say that I didn't see every single minute of every game, but that's not to say he wasn't at one of them. But he came out and said that their plan is never to compete with the NFL. They'll keep doing it like after the season's over, like they are right now.
Interesting.
But yeah, 8 teams. It's going on for about 10 weeks. I think I saw the championship game is on April 26th. So
okay.
In and out before the summer, before the weekends, and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, right in the thick of baseball starting, and then
and like they compete well with like the NBA and the NHL because their schedules are so all over the place. Like,
well,
you
NBA
can go
and
to
NHL
a bar.
Are every fucking day.
Yeah, and there's like multiple games, and it's never guaranteed that like, hey, the team you want to watch is playing on this day. Like with football, every Sunday it's this. Now going forward, the XFL is like Saturday and Sunday. You can watch.
Oh, they do it both days.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just Saturday night. Oh,
yeah, they do. It's like the Saturday 1 or like 2 and 5, and then Sunday 2 and 5.
What the fuck?
And then 2 games on Fox, 2 games on ESPN. It's
okay. So my final question about this,
and then our XFL talk is over.
No. This is good. The XFL talk is already over. But what's the next X? XHL? XLB? What are you looking for? Right? If this takes off and they realize, oh shit, we got something here. We've got a good
like the next like Vince McMahon
or whoever, like pop-up shop, or just the people in charge of this are like, all right, we did it with football. Let's do it again. What's the one you want to see? What's the one that needs the most shakeup?
I think you bring back something that failed again. That NBA, not NBA, well, not obviously not the NBA, but that basketball league that had trampolines.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Yeah, that could be cool. In the middle of the court? Like right up to the hoop?
It was like there was all these trampolines in front of the hoop. And you just jump on these trampolines. It was great.
That's kind of good.
It was entertaining.
I feel like I would want basketball or hockey. Because I think both of them...
Hockey's already fucking extreme, man.
No, but I think like changing up the rule set so that it's not... Because like I can't sit down and watch a hockey game anymore. I just don't have it in me. Like they're too long.
TV.
Yeah.
Games.
Yeah.
Is legit. Yeah. Nah, the only thing you really do in hockey is find a way to encourage scoring. But I think at this point, what needs to happen is they need to decrease the measurements of legal pads. They already do so much to enable offense, but it's still just like averaging 3 goals or 4 goals a game. Yeah. Probably closer to 3. I think that's the next thing they would need to do, but you kind of can't do that now because these goalies are getting paid a high amount of money, and all of a sudden you change their pad sizes. That kind of shit, even if it's just a 1/4 inch, will fuck with all these players.
Yeah. Well, the good news is all the people who were, I think this decade we're about to walk into a lot of. I think it's going to cycle back to where we were like the beginning of the century. You know what I mean?
All right.
I think the next decade it's gonna get weird. I'll tell you that now. As me, tapping my palm reading of the universe here. But I think also you think about the kids who were impressionable at the early part of the decade are now in positions of power. So that's gonna that's why shit like the XFL is coming back and wrestling's making another swing. Like we'll have those things start to reciprocate. So I feel like that golden era of like sports games back then, I feel like we might be back to that. Coming back to video games, right? Mm-hmm. We might actually, I don't know. The MLB games being cross-platform next year.
Yeah.
Like that might start something. EA has been like combing through its library. And
we're getting 12 games one of which is the Syndicate
Of
mobile
course, Syndicate
game.
Mobile coming soon.
Well, speaking of...
Yes.
I have been playing a lot of Madden NFL 20.
Oh, and?
Segue much, yes. So before I was just playing online, and that's why I wasn't really just talking about it.
Well, you did your whole campaign mode.
Yeah. Correct. I forgot about that short little 3-hour thing. No, I've actually dived in, and I dabbled with the Ultimate Team stuff. And I've dabbled. That's that
packs,
card
right?
thing. Yep. Okay. And and I've also been playing a little bit of the franchise mode stuff. It's actually not a bad little package they got going on there.
The franchise mode is when you're the coach, or like you run the franchise and.
Yeah, you can do it at 3 different levels. Mm-hmm. So that's something that's a little bit newer. You can either just stick to a player, and you can pick any like pro player. You can create a player, do whatever. You can be the coach, where you just kind of monitor like the team. Kind of like coach GM kind of thing. Or you can do the owner, which is like you are in charge. Like you can be in charge of the coaching stuff, but like you're more concerned about finances, it's the stadium, player personnel, all that stuff. I went in as an owner with the Ravens. And it's not a bad little package. Some of the owner mode stuff from back in like Madden 05 has come back. It's a little bit later than what I remember those old games being on that kind of stuff. But it's there. You can relocate teams. You can rebuild a whole new stadium. It's like NBA 2K light. So NBA 2K, I would say, probably is the most expansive franchise mode I've ever seen in a game. This is kind of getting back there, but it's not a bad little package.
I did play 05. I think 05 may have been the last one I played, and then... No, that's not true, because then I bought the one on Wii.
On the Wii?
Yeah.
That probably was 04.
It would have been 06.
No, never mind, because you had the quarterback vision, I think, in those games, which would have been...
Well, Wii came out 2006.
You probably had the Wii one. Yeah, 07 was Sean Alexander. That was the one that launched with the Wii that year if you got the launch one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. No, I bought that day one with. I was gonna say Breath of the Wild, Twilight Princess.
But no, I have to say, not a bad little gig they got going on there. I really like the recruiting. It's like simple enough, but yet you can kind of go as deep as you want with it. Well, maybe not as deep as you want with it, but like they do like a really cool thing. Like it reminded me a lot of the old NCAA scouting things where you just have these points and like you go through and you pick and you put points into people, and that slowly reveals or quickly reveals their stats. And like right away you get feedback based on it, saying like, oh hey, this guy, it looks like he's going to go in the third round, but you discovered he might be like a late second round pick. So you can kind of like get that automatic feedback like, hey, you found a gem or you didn't find a gem. And then like after so long, when you get into the offseason, when they have the big NFL combine, which is where all these like college like NFL bound players like do little last like 40-minute dashes, all that stuff, they'll give you like a performance score to put next to it, like next to like your findings, so you can kind of really see like all these specific things
to help you then draft after that.
Yeah. And kind of going from there, like you don't have to play full games. It does a very good job. Like you can do offense only, you can do defense only, or you can do like key moments. And it's like little like important third down plays, 2 minute, like less than 2 minutes to go in like a half or a game, like big moment drives, that kind of stuff. So it does a decent job of selecting that stuff.
Nice.
It's not bad.
Nice.
And then the Ultimate Team stuff, they fixed my biggest gripe with that mode. And I don't know if this is across all their games, and maybe I should revisit some of them. My biggest gripe was that the cards always had like a game limit to them. So if I got a cool gold card that was like 80-some overall, which is kind of hard to come by in these types of things, I would only have it for 12 games unless I kept buying like contract cards to put into that.
So would the card expire and you could never use it, or you'd like
it would still be in my inventory, but
okay.
I could not use that card in a game until I got it a contract card, which MLB The Show has, from what I have seen, has never done that. It's like literally just collecting a baseball card, and once you have the baseball card, it's yours to keep unless you flip it or whatever. They fixed it. Once you have the card, it's yours. There's no contracts, no bullshit. So
what is it? I assume, I hope, you haven't put any actual money into. Okay, so what does that look like for someone who's not going to spend money? Because these things have just turned into gambling parlors, right? Like it's just a fucking casino. All these sports games these days.
I don't know. Like I haven't dived too much into the market, but they do a great job of like kind of getting you. Maybe it's because it's so late in the season.
Yeah,
I'm just getting like a bunch of these cards. Like I already have like a decent quarterback. Like I actually have a couple quarterbacks to choose from. I got a couple decent receivers. But what they do is they encourage you. You don't have to, but they encourage you to just go right into these challenges. And I think the first set of them is build your team. So as you keep going through these challenges, you kind of earn a card, and before you know it, you got some decent stat, players in some key areas. Yeah. Now, you do get a shit ton of coins. I don't know. I wouldn't say a shit ton, but you got enough where I could probably go into the market and bid on a good handful of like 5,000 coin players that are like in the high 70s, maybe low 80s to fill out like my offensive line and some other areas that would need attention. Yeah. But I feel pretty good. I've been slowly going through those challenges, and after that, like there's a whole deck of challenges where you can keep going, or you can just start hopping into online stuff. And they do the cool thing of like they have like ratings on cards. That's like I guess your salary cap. So there's a mode of Ultimate Team where you can go in and face teams that are under a salary cap. So you're kind of forced to kind of
work
budget
within some limits. Yeah,
budget how you use the cards. Like I could have this outstanding 99, but if the rest of my team's all 70s because of it, like there's some balance in there. So like you can hop into one of those modes. There's all kinds of different challenges, like just modes like based off like using certain cards. There is a lot there, and they're always putting in new cards because like right before we had the Super Bowl cards before that we had the playoff cards.
Right.
Now we got like the MVP, like the award-winning cards, and then you just kind of just keep going from there.
I always appreciated how much depth there was to a lot of those in recent years, where they just become these RPGs with occasional sports mechanics and like management sims with sports mechanics sometimes. But yeah, it's neat.
But yeah, it's just but it's really nice. Just like I got a Patrick Mahomes card and a Peyton Manning card, and I know that neither of them are going to expire. That's just real good.
Do they have create a team? Design a logo, that kind of thing.
I don't think so.
So you could not make the XFL teams in Madden.
Not in Madden, no. I don't know how, and I did not look into the relocate team stuff. Because I'm not going to relocate the Ravens.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it would just move the Ravens from Baltimore to wherever, or if it would actually let me like redesign, like how when the Browns left Cleveland to come to Baltimore, how we left them the Browns. We just kind of made a new franchise with their players. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the one part I don't know.
Old Maddens did that, right? Like, you could design... I felt like I remember designing a logo and shit.
Like, yeah, I mean, the design logo stuff wasn't too in-depth. I don't
remember
like, layers and stuff like that. But, yeah, you could, like, design uniforms and stuff like that. Not a bad little package.
Madden
of sports
20.
games.
Yeah. Speaking of sports games, I played some Persona 5 Scramble.
Is that a football game?
This is the Persona 5 sequel that is developed by Koei Tecmo and is basically the Muso game, right? Remember they announced they had all those projects, and one was P5S, and then everyone was like, oh, it's a fucking Dynasty Warriors game. Blech. Well, I'm here to tell you, it is a little bit more than a Muso. I played... So the game's not out... I think it's out this Tuesday in Japan, not here. But I downloaded the demo from the Japanese eShop and played through it. I couldn't tell you what the fuck is going on in the story because my Japanese is pretty non-existent. But, yeah. I understood when they said and I understood when they said I'm sorry. Because those are the things I learned. But, so this game's actually a little bit more than a Muso. Now, my experience with the Dynasty Warriors games is basically as strong as my experience with Japanese, i.e. non-existent. But I did play Hyrule Warriors. I beat Hyrule Warriors, and that was my first and only one of those. And in Hyrule Warriors, it was very much go into a map that is whatever shape. Waves of enemies come at you, and you just kind of swing your sword until they're dead. That's kind of it. There's occasional, like, you'd get a bomb as Link, or you'd get different sub-weapons as Link, and it kind of worked. But generally speaking, just button mash. Persona 5 Scramble is a little bit more... It requires a little bit more input from the player. And honestly, what it ended up feeling like by the end of my time with the demo is Persona 5, but with real-time combat. So the opening of the game, you start out, you're playing as Joker. It is a big swath of enemies that you have to fight head on. And it is hit Y to slash them with a thing, and then they're dead. After the tutorial, that like opening little bit is done, it goes back and you're actually in the city where... Did you play Persona 5 at all?
No.
That game, when you play as Joker, you live in this dude's like attic in his coffee shop.
Okay.
So it starts off and you're in the little like city block where you would be in Persona 5 to walk back to the coffee shop. Excuse me. And you walk back and you go in and all of your friends are there and they're all talking to you, and it for all intents and purposes, I felt like I was playing Persona 5 on my Switch. Then when it goes back to, okay, we got to go out and save the day or whatever. I have no idea what they're saying. Then the combat kicks in, and you're kind of like dungeon crawling, but instead of it going into turn-based combat, it's all Muso-style combat, which felt really fun. And it gets a little bit more than just jam on Y. At a certain point, they tutorialize it again, where they're like, hey, look at that light pole up there and hit A to jump. Like, he has like a grappling hook, so he goes up to the light, and then you can look down and do like a... Remember in Arkham City, they did that it may have been in Arkham Asylum also, but you drop down and do that like shockwave attack that like kind of blows everybody back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You kind of do that as Joker, and then you can kind of zip around and just punch him a whole bunch.
That's fun.
Yeah, and then you get the what does he call them? You have your persona, but you also have other of the demons you can kind of summon and bring into battle.
Yeah,
and it kind of is a blend of Persona 5's combat with more action-oriented focus. So I think I might get it. It is a sequel, so I have no idea what...
Well, you wouldn't follow the story anyway.
Well,
and I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think it is coming here soon enough, though.
Yeah, but what's soon enough? Because we're climbing up...
I know.
The roller coaster. It's like you feel the excitement of that first downhill... But when you're sitting there, it feels like forever when you're climbing up that mountain. That's where we're at with release dates right about now.
Yeah, it's basically there. Actually, I guess it's not coming to the U.S. anytime soon.
All right, well.
Yeah, there's not even a release date?
I'm looking at the Gematsu.
Yeah,
there's what was first revealed. I was looking at gameplay of it.
There is not a release date for this in America, but it is out Thursday.
February 20th.
February 20th in Japan. So, honestly, though, if you have a Japanese account on your Switch or your PS4, it should be pretty easy to...
And if you don't have one, it's easy enough to make, right?
Yeah. I did the one on my Switch in no time because I wanted to have the Famicom and Super Famicom games.
Yeah.
And it's cool because I can jump in and play stuff like this that doesn't exist in America. But yeah, like I was compelled even after beating the demo. I spent like an hour with it just to jump back in and do it again because it was just fun to play. And then I was like, maybe I should buy Fire Emblem Warrior. You know what I mean? Or like one of those things. Mm-hmm. One of the other Muso ones. But I was like, I'll wait. Let me cool it a little bit. But if you're looking for something like that, if you're interested in Persona 5 and you want something weird, I mean... If the language barrier is kind of a thing that might be difficult, but
I always like whenever Muso combat is brought up, I know like it didn't do it to that extent, but I always feel like Shadow of War, like when you charged like Castle Siege stuff, that war to just constantly going around you and all these characters on screen at one time, I could see me kind of getting into it for like 2 hours and then like this is the same thing and dropping out, but
that's what happened with Hyrule Warriors. Like that game, after you beat it with Link, you start unlocking other characters, and I didn't play any. Like when I got to the end of that, I knew what that game was. It was good, but I felt myself like really. You're just. I think with Link, you could switch up his combos a little bit. Like you'd unlock like, hey, hit Y 5 times and then X. Now hit X once and then Y 5 times. Like it was a little varied, but it's just so much of just.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Persona 5 Scramble.
Well,
yeah.
I did hit R1 a lot.
Uh-oh.
With a little game called Sekiro.
Still grinding away at that one, huh?
Don't need to grind anymore. Woo!
Your fucking just litany of beverages every week.
Well, I really didn't want this, but I got to keep a tradition up around this podcast.
That's true.
Yes, sir. That is a cold, maybe not so cold. I've just been out of refrigerator for
cold
like 30.
Enough.
Yeah, whatever. Nice cold natty bow to celebrate a platinum trophy and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Congratulations. How was that final grind? Because when we last talked, you were almost ready to say fuck this, right?
Yeah, so after about 40 minutes of doing it and just seeing the little ability meters tick up, I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to do the final boss.
Mm-hmm.
Did that. Took about 4 tries, so I'm feeling pretty good about the final boss nowadays. Didn't have to do Demon of Hatred, thank God. And then, you know what? I said, fuck it. Let's just beat the game again.
Yeah, why not?
So, launched to do my 3rd New Game Plus, and, just by casually killing enemies, running past the tough parts, doing the bosses I had to beat, doing the mini-bosses you have to beat, I kind of got back to the spot I was in a matter of a few hours, like 3 to 4.
Oh, really? That short?
Yeah, because there's not many I know like all the boss patterns at this point, and I might die once or twice.
Yeah.
But like I was always very careful to make sure that I filled, because when you die permanent, like after the revive, you lose half of the ability tree, or like half the ability point. So I was just very conscious of like, especially the ones I knew I might struggle with, just to complete the point in an area.
Right.
And then that way, if I lost, it wasn't the end of the world.
Big of a blow.
And then all the Sen and stuff I had, like I bought everything I need to buy, so that currency didn't matter much to me.
And this is all like New Game plus?
Yep.
Or, okay.
So this would be the third place, so New Game plus.
Okay.
But yeah, I would just be conscious of that, especially like Guardian Ape, those kind of battles.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got back to that part where like you don't have to beat the final boss to get to the area I was at, and I just started doing it, and like the ticking, like not drastically, but I could definitely see a difference in the tick, and it made it more satisfying each time.
That's good.
So I grinded it out on that day, and I now own a platinum trophy.
Man. So what? To put Sekiro to bed, I guess. Do you want another Sekiro?
I think I do.
Yeah.
I really think I want a DLC as well, because there's a few opportunities that they could and characters they could explore, whether they want to do like prequel or like a parallel thing. Because one of the main things you end up having to do is get this thing called Immortal Blade to kill all of like pretty much Kuro, the kid you're protecting, wants to like be gone with Dragon's Blood and revive, because all it does is just make people bad.
Mm-hmm.
So he pretty much just wants to get rid of it. And one of the things you have to find is this thing called Immortal Blade, which is something that can kind of counter Dragon's Blood and kill you permanently. Well, out of nowhere, Genichiro, which is like one of the main baddies, he has Immortal Blade that's black instead of yours that's red. So like, what's kind of like,
what's that?
I'm sure if I looked into the lore a little bit more, I could see where it came from. But like, I could see them doing like a gameplay thing of him getting that at the same time you're getting the red one. That's so cool. There's also some side characters that are like legendary samurais that they can do like prequel stuff. Because remember, this game has a segment that goes back like 3 years prior. They could do some shit like leading up to that big estate takeover. So I think that's. I would like to see another story in it before they go full-fledged sequel. Yeah. But yeah, I'd be game
either way
for a new sequel.
And then I guess my other question is, how does this stack up with, the From Software legacy with Bloodborne and Dark Souls?
Well, let me tell you that...
you haven't played Dark Souls.
Well, see, that's the thing here. Me, with that shirt, I do feel a little shitty looking at it and not having that third platinum trophy. So I used a gift card. It was on sale. And I went ahead and bought Dark Souls Remastered, and that's what I've been playing for the past week.
Path is carved.
Yep.
All right, so how is Dark Souls?
All right, so this is what I think playing Dark Souls makes me appreciate Sekiro so much more, because they actually like got away from the formula. Like they didn't, but they did. They did.
Yeah. It's a different game.
It's a different game.
Yeah.
When you like launch Dark Souls, like from the character creator to the fucking stat, like leveling up, to the souls, to just that kind of gameplay,
it's Bloodborne.
It's Bloodborne.
Yeah.
You kind of have the tutorial area, the Undead Asylum, which is different because that's just like its own island, and then you get carried away by this giant crow to the actual like castle that you're in for all of Dark Souls.
Cool.
And they do a good job of like the messages on the ground, the blood stains, of like kind of guiding you on how to play the game. And you got the intro boss, which funny enough, you don't have to die to. You're supposed to run from it.
Oh.
There's this little like little pathway, little tunnel that you have to run into that he can't follow you. And that's where you get all your weapons and your gear and stuff. And you kind of come and loop back around.
And then,
and then you can do like one of the like it teaches you like a drop down thrust attack.
Yeah,
and then from there you just kill the boss.
Did you do it first try?
Did
you do it without?
Once I got the weapons, it's super easy. It's just
it's like is it like fighting the werewolf or a little more tough?
It's easier than the werewolf.
Okay,
the werewolf's very erratic. This one, it like And this is where Dark Souls is a little bit different because of the sword and shield combat. Like, a lot of the windups are very telling, but the windups are important because you kind of know, like, what you can parry, what you can't parry, and like Bloodborne, you have the invincibility roll frames, and if you time them perfectly, like, you can go through a sword swipe or whatever. So everything is very deliberate with attacks, and I think that's why people struggle with Bloodborne so much. It was just it was fast. And I can see where people were like, whoa, what the hell is going on with this? So, like, that was my biggest thing, because I went from the fucking super sprint of Sekiro combat, which is a combination of sprinting and rhythm combat in a way. And then I did the thing of, like, all right, well, I'm used to parrying Sekiro. Let me start parrying. Well, if you fuck up the time of the parry and you're going to die. Yeah. So then I was like, all right, well, maybe I just have to dodge everything, because Bloodborne. That wasn't really working for me. I was like, because the frames are so few, you have to be almost exact with your rolls and your dodges as well. Just put the fucking shield up. That's all you got to do with half these enemies. So, like, all my past Bloodborne or From Software experience was, like, fighting me just to, like...
Just hit.
Yeah. And then the first hour of that game, I ended up going to a more endgame area.
Oh.
So I was fighting the skeletons that I was, like, chunking down their health. Yeah. And I was like, I'm like overthinking everything because all these From Software games I play. I'm like, oh, they want me to learn a visceral attack. So I'm like trying to time these parries, and I'm just not getting it. And then finally I get one after a half an hour later. I'm like, yeah. And then it doesn't kill the thing. It, like, takes, like, half its health. And then from that point, thank you, FextraLife.com, because that has been a lifesaver for me here. I learned that is, like, 2/3 of the way through the game you're supposed to go down that path. Nope. And then that's when I learned that this game's map design for, like, traversal, better than Bloodborne.
I don't like that.
So this is it's the way the game is designed. So at least not initially. I think you do get at some point. There's no fast travel between bonfires.
Oh.
So it is very purposely and meticulously paved out the way it is. You start in this area called Firelink Shrine, and that is like a pseudo hub world. As you meet NPCs or save them or whatever, they kind of come to this area, and this area paves out to like 3 different things initially, and as you keep unlocking shortcuts, they kind of all make their way back to the Firelink Shrine. So it's really well done how everything is, and it has me thinking of, like, I can like reinforce my weapons at a bonfire now. I bought the item, but, like, to go to, like, the next wave of them, you have to have a certain item, and you have to give it to like a carpenter kind of guy.
So you got to find Garam and give him the bloodstone chunk.
Pretty much. Okay, it's the titanite shards in the
bloodstone.
You like it had me thinking of, like, I can't just travel this bonfire. So, like, where I'm at now, what's the best way to get? I'm like thinking of all the shortcuts. And I'm like, and that spot's a little tough. I probably would die. I could probably go the longer way and be so. Like, it has me thinking of the map in a way that I haven't thought of a map since, like, I'm thinking like GTA 3 when, like, fast travel wasn't a thing and you kind of had to know the map like the back of your hand. It has a lot of that going.
And there's no in-game map you can reference, right? Like, the map you're
not really. No, you just kind of have to know what's going on. So I really like that. And after I went down that 2/3 area, I went to, like, another endgame area from the Firelink, and I thankfully read the message. I was like, be wary of Ghost. And if I know anything from Soft games, you don't fuck with Ghost without some kind of item. So I immediately turned back around and ran. And I finally found a spot I was supposed to start. I get it. I can now officially say Blight Town sucks.
I don't know what that is.
That is the famous area that would rip apart your frames per second on console. That is the poison pit area, and that is also the area where, like, you're on these, like, wooden, like, structures. You know, like high rise are being built. They have, like, that scaffolding. It's just all scaffolding that leads down to a poison pond. So if you fall off the scaffold, you're dead. And then once you hit the pond, it's just all poison. And there's just annoying, like, poison enemies. I beat it. I'm through Blaytown. I probably have to go back by all that area because I have to go back to a former area to get somewhere else. Mm-hmm. But I've completed Blaytown.
So where is that? Do you know about where you are, like percentage-wise?
It's kind of tough to tell because there are a lot of areas, but from the Fextra Life walkthrough, and I'm loosely following it. I do like the element of surprise, but I do know all the bosses in the game, and I kind of have an idea of how to maybe start to deal with them just from like this different speed runs and a little like little links I've been clicking in the Fextra Life guides. But like I still kind of want to experience the game organically. So like I'm falling into these areas, and some of them may be optional, but like I do know the next location you got to go, and the game does a really good job of doing that too. Like you right away, like there's a dude next to this Fire Lake Shrine is like laughing at you because like, oh, so many warriors have come before and they haven't done what you're not gonna be able to do. Or you're gonna fall the same fate as them, whatever. But he's like right away he like hints at you have to ring these 2 bells. And he says the location of one, he says the location of the other. Like, right away, I'm like, first objective, I have to get... Well, this objective takes about, 8 hours or so.
Sure. Yeah.
But I rang the 2 bells, and it played a cutscene of a spot that I've seen actually near the Carpenter dude open up. So I know...
You're making... Yeah.
I need to go to that spot. But, like... Where Blaytown is at, there's so many of these different areas, and I think some of them were maybe endgame or not, but I'm just kind of exploring and seeing what pops up.
That's cool.
But it's quite the adjustment getting used to that combat. And I can now like see why people struggle to go from Dark Souls to Bloodborne, or I'm doing the other way. But like I now understand the struggle.
The big, that's
because that's it. It's just it's so much more. Like I know we said with Bloodborne, like you gotta be deliberate. Like this is even more so. Patience is your best friend. Yeah. Usually, most of the time, you want like the dude to attack you and kind of get knocked back from your shield, and then you go in and take care of business. I don't know why FromSoft likes some kind of ailment that just kills you instantly. In this game, is curse. Like, can we just get away from that? Like, I don't need terror. I don't need frenzy. Well, let's get away from curse. Like, let's just...
In Elden Ring, it'll be called sunlight, because you'll be a vampire, and anytime you go outside, you'll just explode.
Yeah, so, like, fuck off.
Yeah, that's rough.
The invasion stuff, I haven't dealt with it too much going into other people's worlds, but I think that's going to be part of the trophy hunt. So I'm going to deal with some of that. I don't think it's, like, definitively, like, go in and invade 10 worlds. But, like, one of the big things in this game are these covenants. Mm-hmm. And then, like, some of them have, like, different side quests associated with them where you can kind of get items from, like, the NPC or whatever. And there's a trophy to join each of them. I think there's 9. And I know some of the covenants, like, encourage invasions and stuff like that. And there's 2 ways of getting into the covenant. Because, remember, you can play these games offline if you want to.
Sure.
So, like... the famous sunlight dude who's always like praise the sun.
Soltaire. Whatever. That guy. Yeah.
His covenant requires, I think, you to get 25 faith in your level sheet. Or you can knock down the faith requirement by successfully going into other people's worlds and helping them kill bosses.
Okay.
So it's that kind of mix of invading and stuff like that. Like I'm not doing a faith build. That's more like the magic build.
Yeah.
I'm doing more like
strength.
I'm just going to fucking hit you with a sword.
Yeah.
So I probably won't get the 25 faith in my first playthrough, but I can maybe I'm at 10 faith now, just so that way I can cast a spell if I need to. I just have to help with 3 bosses, and I'm on my way.
So. This is definitely too early, but are 2 and 3 after this, or are you frommed out?
Let me get through. Let me get through this, because I said at the top, the whole reason I'm doing this is for a platinum trophy, so that way I can just proudly wear a dumb shirt.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind as I'm about to say this. I need to see how long his platinum trophy takes.
Yeah. Did you look up like the ETA or whatever?
PSN trophy says it's 80 to 120.
Holy shit, dude.
But with all the FromSoft games, when you read that, it says like skill based.
Yeah.
It says you need to beat the game 3 times.
Yeah.
I didn't really look at save scumming.
Oh,
So, like, I know there's 2 different endings after the final boss.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any weird items or anything like that you have to worry about. So, like, none of it's missable.
Yeah.
But I think I could like save scum those 2 endings. The covenants, you can join all of them and be fine.
Yeah.
There is something where you leave a covenant that's called a sin, and if you commit a sin, you go on this list that prioritizes invasions to pay for your sins. So you have to kind of be careful of that. There is an NPC character in an area that you can pay souls to get off the sin list. This game, it's all over the place with that kind of shit.
Huh.
So I just have to be a little bit careful of that, but I can probably knock out all those trophies in one playthrough. The main reason it said that I would need like 2 3/4 of a run is for weapon items to upgrade all these different weapons through the weapon tree. But I've read, like, the trophy guide said to do just to play through, but then another guide I was reading said you could, like, not save scum it, but, like, if you buy the item in the menu, the trophy will pop after you buy it. But if you exit the game before leaving the menu, the game doesn't save.
Okay.
So you could just reload and just kind of do it for each weapon you need to.
Yeah.
Because once again, like, there's a Titanic chunk.
Yeah.
There's other things too. Like, you can do like a red Titanic chunk or like blue or green, and I think they have different effects. So you have to get all those. So that's the one part. I'm just not deep enough in the game yet to learn like the currency or what exactly like everything means. How
creative you have to be with your...
Yeah, so like I was trying to read through like the map and like get a good sense of the walkthrough. I was immediately overwhelmed because it is that type of game. And so I was like, I'm just going to enjoy my playthrough. I know the general gist of the story and like the things you need to do. And once I get through like the 4 bosses I needed to get through to like activate the last, like, the end boss, that's when I'll kind of stop and reread. I'll just kind of organically go through everything. And there was one covenant that like that I talked to the person to join it, and I just didn't join it at the time, and I got the trophy for, I guess, being able to join it. So okay. I think like that plays into it as well. So yeah, I'm officially playing Dark Souls Remastered.
So let's see here.
Uh-oh.
I'm just looking. I started... All right, so Code Vein didn't do it for me. Like, it kind of did, and I kind of made a little bit of progress again with that, but I'm not, like... Something about it's just off. I don't know. So I did go back to Bloodborne. Just to run around and get my feet wet. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right. Here's what I got to do. I've got a hidden trophy, which I think is the Chalice Dungeon one. You have to beat the Temerian Queen.
Yep.
I've got acquire all hunter weapons, acquire all special hunter tools.
These are things you have to do.
Yes.
All right.
Acquire an extremely precious blood gem.
You'll get that organically going through the...
Chalice Dungeon?
Yes.
That's it. That's all I got to do to get the platinum.
It depends what tools you need and what weapons.
I'll have to look.
One of the weapons can only be found in the Chalice Dungeon.
Right,
so
right.
That might be the one you need. Right. The tools... I mean, the tools you can get... The weapons and the tools you can get at any point. I'm just trying to like remember like the weird ones. There is the one that is... Did you ever go to the... You know the Hunter's Dream where the doll is, right? Did you ever go to that area like in Yarnell?
Yeah.
So I know one of them's there. That was like one of the ones I missed initially.
I think I did get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember like all the other. It's been a couple years now.
I'd have to look at it and see what I have and what I need, but yeah.
But yeah, you're there. All you gotta do is.
I remember being there. Like I remember it wasn't going to be that.
You gotta do the chalice dungeons, which aren't like they suck, but they're not like the worst thing. The only one that really sucks is the defiled one.
Yeah.
The defiled one, for whatever dumb lore reason, you only have half your health, and so. I know at least one of the bosses, if not all of them, can kind of like one-shot you if you're not careful. And that was like the most frustrating thing.
Yeah.
But once you get through that, like, you didn't struggle that much of a ROM, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck. All right, well, there is a ROM fight in the Chalice Dungeons that you have to do. And there's also an Amygdala fight.
Amygdala I fucked up real easy.
Yeah, Amygdala, I didn't try. The only thing with the Amygdala...
I didn't take a hit. I stood between his dick and just kept punching him.
The only thing with the Amygdala this time around is because it's the dungeon, is a little bit smaller of a playing field. ROM... Well, ROM's is infinite, but like this... Like there's columns where you can kind of like break apart like the spiders from like gathered up on you, so... It's really not that bad. Your biggest challenge is just getting back into Bloodborne.
Yeah, that's the hard part. It's like rolling through. Like I did good. Like I loaded in.
Were you like? I mean, is this like an end game one you have?
It was New Game Plus, so
you have to beat it again. Unless you have another save somewhere.
I'd have to check.
But at this point, like to get all the weapons and stuff, you have to do it again.
I have everything still.
No, but like to get access to those areas that you may be missing the tools.
Yeah, I'd have to check. Yeah.
You got the one for fully upgrading your weapons, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, so you don't have to worry about the chunks.
Yeah, no. I really just need to do the thing. And I got to get back to the places. Yeah, I don't know.
You can do it.
Oh, I know.
That's right. Yeah.
It was always right there. I just like once I got through that little bit and I felt the sense of completion, I kind of walked away and then lost my legs for it. And then of course I still have the old hunters.
The whole Dark Souls thing started. I wasn't gonna. I had interest in it, but I was like, that's like a different type of game. This all stemmed from me talking to someone at work about like how I don't know why I like to do this to myself as like self like infliction, but like I just like to get punished by games, but whenever you see that next little slither of health go down that you didn't get last time, it's just the most satisfying thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I was talking about like how Sekiro was like that and how like I'm winding down on the platinum there. And then like 5 days later, someone else at work was talking to me about Bloodborne and how they were looking into doing a arcane build, and how I've like never really done that. So I was like, oh, that might be fun to do. And then that night I was like, or I can just buy Dark Souls on sale with a gift card and just get the triple plat that is now eluding me. And so those couple conversations
led to that. Yeah, that.
And the world spoke to me when I realized there was a sale on remasters.
Yeah. I keep looking at. I'm always looking at Bloodborne stuff. Like there hasn't been a time in my life since 2015 where I'm not like just tangentially at least looking at it. Like I've had this fucking someone's painting as my background for the last like month. Like I'm always there. You know what I mean? And then with you doing your thing, and then the one tip was listening to a podcast this week and someone talking about it and talking about. Did you ever read the Pale Blood Hunt or what was it called?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think I know what you're talking about, but no.
He's talking about that and just talking about how he did another run of Bloodborne again, and I was like, fuck. I've seen a couple like Twitter conversations from people recently, and I'm like, I'm feeling it. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Because I've been jumping between Yakuza and Fire Emblem Three Houses. Neither of them, I don't think I have anything new to say about either of them. They're still exactly great in what they have been, but they're
Your
just
picture
long.
you sent me, fucking hysterical.
That's pretty good.
Divine.
Yeah.
I'm confusion.
It made so much sense for Petra to be the one. Yeah.
I actually understood it.
Yeah. But I did jump into something you might be interested in on Switch.
Switch, all right.
Picross, Lord of the Nazarick.
Lord of the Nazarick, all right.
They call this, or I call this...
Fan service? Oh. All right.
Picross with a plot line.
Okay.
Apparently, this is based on some anime I've never heard of. But do you need me to spell it?
No, actually, it popped up on the bar there.
It's like a group of somethings. I don't know. It's fucking Picross, but there's like all of this cool demon skeleton party imagery. All the puzzles are based on this anime, so as you're doing the puzzles, it's revealing more of this. What I really like about this Picross game is just because Picross is Picross, right? Like, it's Jupiter making this game. They know how to make a good Picross game. They, you know what I mean, made the Picross games. But I think the presentation of this one is just of a next level, and I completely forgot this came out last year. But the menu, I think the whole UI of that and just the experience I've got going through each menu, you kind of jump in per character, and there's like, I don't know, maybe
I see that. Like
50
I see
or
like,
something puzzles per character.
I see like a skeleton dude, and next to him is like a grid of 9 with 2 question marks. So I guess they're not unlocked yet. Yeah, so they're all like different puzzles you unlock, or those I think is probably the art that you're unlocking as you complete the puzzles. All right. Yeah. Then they have like Mega Picross, which I'm not great at Mega Picross because I don't quite understand it. But it's like there's color Picross in this where you're not only matching the numbers, but you need to match color. There's like all these different levels of Picross available to you for whatever kind of style. Oh, that explains the orange and the yellow bars and this. Oh, okay.
And there's also multiplayer.
Oh, it says color Picross right there. There's multiplayer.
Which I did by accident because I was trying to switch controllers and I turned on 2 by accident and I had like a cursor just sitting on the screen. I was like, oh shit. So you could sit there and just tag team one with somebody if you wanted to. But it's just the presentation top notch. Like, I
don't have anyone to play this with. Victoria's not like a...
You just got to teach her Picross, man.
Yeah, as soon as you throw numbers at her, it's over. No, trust me.
I know. I'm just trying to think of how an easy way you could teach Picross for someone who doesn't give a shit about.
If you say the word Sudoku, it's over. And
yeah,
I'm trying to think of a way to explain it without her being like, oh, so it was like Sudoku. We'll think of it off air.
You're making pictures with blocks. That's what you got to say. Making pictures with blocks, but it's just numbers of blocks in each row.
Said the word numbers.
There's a certain number of blocks, so singular number. Yeah, I the plot is it's not. That's the nice thing is that like I assume there's enough fan service there for someone who does want it. Not that kind of fan service. I know now, but I think there is enough for someone to be like, you know, happy that their anime is. Is that your first sip?
Oh yeah. Oh.
Hey, you lit up.
That's real good.
Oh yeah.
That tastes like a Coke.
Yeah.
But it's Coke Energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that one came through the microphone. That little squeal.
Oh, it did.
Damn, this is... Sorry to interrupt.
No,
That's real good. Coke Energy.
Dude. That's
Damn, do we have a new official energy drink of ETH? Well, more news on that later.
Oh, yeah. What the...
We'll talk later.
Yeah. I don't know what to do there. Anyway, yeah, like that's the nice thing is that I assume that someone who is into Lord of the Nazarick that they might get what they want out of this. But for me, I'm just kind of like they're not overbearing with the stuff, like with any of the plot or cutscenes or whatever. I'm playing Picross and it's fine, and they do these occasional whatevers, and it's not the end of the world.
Maybe she does watch a little bit of anime. I'm texting her right now to see maybe she knows this one. I doubt it.
I had never heard of this. It was a weird one.
Maybe I can get her in with that.
There you go. Hey, I got this cool anime game, multiplayer. Check it out. Yeah, it's cool though. I think I never care because whatever. I was gonna buy it anyway, but I bought it, and then I saw like later the week that I bought it, it was on sale for like $5 or something.
Not bad.
But I think it's only like $8. Those Picross games are cheap.
And then like you always have some kind of gold coin, whether it's like 30 cents off or whatever.
Yeah. So I got one more little baby one, but I'll save that for wrapping up. What did you play anything else in the list?
I started something. I didn't get far in it, but I want to give it some attention because I think it's a unique idea. I played this game. It was on. I saw it launched on Steam Early Access, and it caught my eye right away. And I decided to buy it with a Steam gift card. It's called Not for Broadcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it reminded me a little bit like the UI. It's not a horror game by any stretch of the imagination, but like it kind of reminded me like a setup to Five Nights at Freddy's, where like you're kind of monitoring these cameras and doing that kind of stuff. And I kind of like those like weird little simulations.
Yeah.
And this seemed to have some humor behind it. So I think the gist of it is, you work as an executive producer for a broadcast station, and like you kind of have to start to control a message. I can kind of see some real life things they're starting to poke at a little bit.
Yeah.
But you're pretty much trying to control the message of like election night results. And I didn't get that far in it, but I started to get like the gist of the gameplay. But yeah, you're pretty much an executive producer in like a control room, and you have to kind of monitor and make TV happen.
That's cool. So you're switching feeds.
You're switching camera feeds, and I did it like once or twice in school for like Salisbury TV.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the tiniest little bit of experience, but like I kind of get it. And so they were kind of diving into that stuff pretty well. Like they have like the live feed, your main like feed that's about to go up, and then you got your 4 different toggles. You have to put in these ads to a VCR and know when to cue the ads.
That's cool.
And there's like a censor button, so if someone starts like talking shit, like you have to hit the censor button, but you have to time it because of the 2-second delay, and there's different tools. There's this gimmicky little mechanic that I'm not the biggest fan of, but I think it's to fill I think it's to give gameplay to like the gaps of the switching. There's interference, and you have to like toggle this, like you can mouse wheel it at any, like wherever you're at, you can mouse wheel it. And there's a little ball. It's like kind of just like don't land in the green. And it's fine. Like I can see like where the difficulty gets, but it's just like a little puzzle thing, I think, to just fill some gaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it very early on, it just is pretty much telling you like, all right, so you have the timer for the segment up top, and it's like at these different various points, make sure you run the ad, and you can't wait for 0 on the ad. You have to be back so that way there's no black on the live feed.
Sure.
So you have to like you can cue into the live feed, and the ad will automatically roll. You have to know when to cue the ad, because if you cue it too early, you might miss a bit of the segment. And then like there is a talk show on the station, so you have to do that thing with interviews, and if you don't, I don't know, like if you just generally just watch interviews and you don't know like a little bit of the science behind it, but like I don't know if you ever noticed, but like they don't hang on a shot for too long because it gets very dry and boring.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of cut away to reaction shots or go back to a wide after a few seconds, and the game's like explaining to you to do that. It's like focus on whoever's talking, but don't leave the shot on for longer than 10 seconds. Either pan to a wide or try to get a reaction shot. And so like you're messing around with that. And then like there's I can see where it's starting to go with some of these other controls. Like there is a volume control for like your main feed, and there's a volume control for live TV, and like they were trying to have you adjust those to a suitable spot so that way you can censor things directly. But there's also like a little audio like cue to do it as well, to kind of help out for those that like don't have like the ear for it. It's really neat.
Is there a creep factor to it, or
so? I don't think there's like a creep factor.
I didn't know when you mentioned Five Nights at Freddy's earlier, so I didn't know if it was.
No, it's not horror by any stretch. Okay. I think it's like they're leaning into some humor as well, because I think it was an actor. He's like promoting his new movie, and they started talking about the election results, which like he was stunned by the question, but like he had an answer, and then they had me segue or like cut to like the clip that he was there, because talk shows and clips and stuff like that. But you can still see your live screens as the clip is playing. So you see him start flipping out like at the producers and pointing fingers and stuff. Cool. And like there's a guy on the phone with you. I don't know if he's there all the time or just like for the tutorial part of it. But he's like, oh yeah, make sure you don't cut to that because that could be a real nightmare. But you could cut to that.
Ooh,
and I think
cool.
the game does like branching storylines depending on what you do.
Oh,
so there's a little bit of like Papers, Please to it, I think.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of I'm trying to think of another game that was like I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Shit. But yeah, it messes with that stuff. And like I saw people in like Steam threads, I was like, I just never played the ads, and I got like,
oh wow.
So right away though, when you launch the game, it says it's an early access. It was only like a couple hours long over like a couple days, but they plan to go for hours and hours of gameplay and branching storylines and stuff like that. They're just at the point where they kind of need some more money for their development team to keep making money. And like the last line of it was like, yeah, our coders seem to be getting a little skinny. So
and is it FMV or are they like
it's real ass like acting like cutscenes.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So like I didn't play much of it. I thought it would be more something that me and Victoria could play together, but it's not that. She was just looking at my screen and she's like, oh, this is very stressful. I'm like,
yeah, that seems like something you kind of have to dial into.
Yeah, definitely. And I can probably see where like headphones are recommended because of the different audio levels and playing with stuff like that. So I'm looking to hop back into that, but I thought that was a neat little concept. It's got great reviews on Steam. I enjoy like my first 15 minutes of it. Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny. So yeah, stay tuned for more of that. But
I saw that. I didn't know who that was for. Like I didn't, not like in that way. Just like like that's a weird one. I didn't think that could be a game, but look at that.
Yeah, so I'll keep playing through that. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the first little chunk I played.
Speaking of PC, I should mention these just because a couple Game Pass hits that I didn't go too far with, but I just tried them. No, I don't remember. Sea Salt.
Okay, yep.
You play as a group of worms at first. You just need to go through a town and make people sick and die. And like you're parasites, you're like a swarm of parasites. You swarm them, go inside their body, and you just kind of like pull right trigger to blow them up. Like make them explode from the inside out. You're just spreading disease. And then you slowly unlock new like tarot card kind of things in a way. And then you can like activate those cards to get new types of monsters in your squad. I thought it would work better mouse and keyboard, so I tried it on PC. No mouse and keyboard support. Or there is, but I'm sorry, no mouse support, but you just play with the keys, which...
Oh, that's how Shenmue was. Yeah, that's not great.
I didn't love that, so... and then... Is that the only one I had on there?
I can't get a good, like, thing of what's come recently on their site.
Well, I also tried Children of Morta.
Yeah, I've seen that game played. That just seems like a generic, like, top-down dungeon crawler. Like, it looks like it's playable. Like, it's not bad. It's just... I don't think it's another one of those. Yeah.
It's got, like, some Diablo hooks in it, but, yeah. I did, however, because it was it's out on Game Pass, I was kind of like, oh, yeah, I never finished that. I should download that and play that. I didn't get it on Game Pass, but I reinstalled Final Fantasy 15.
All like 500 gigs of that game?
I was really worried about it, so I cleared out room on my PlayStation. It was 79 gigs.
Oh, on PlayStation. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I get home. I'm like, all right, let's do this, Final Fantasy.
All right.
Fire it up, get in the car. Got an upgrade to the car where it has like monster truck tires and I can drive off-road.
All right.
I did 3 side quests, and I said, oh, yeah, I remember why I stopped playing this, and then I just uninstalled it. It's like, all right. I'm glad that I spent 30 minutes and not another 6 hours. I got it out. We're good.
Every time I have an itch just to try that game, all I got to do is pull up that Leviathan fight.
That Leviathan fight was badass, though.
You see, that's the thing. It looks like garbage, gameplay-wise.
It was fun.
And then you tell me that was badass. So
it was cool. The problem, and like the reason I'm saying I uninstalled it super quickly is because I'm at a point in that game where all I can really do is side quests or finish it. And I had skipped so many of the side quests, so a lot of the ones I have are early level side quests where I'm late game. Yeah, they're just not interesting. And honestly, the traveling in that world sucks. It's very clunky. Like, you can't click a map and say, fast travel here. You have to go to your car, click X to open the navigation through the car, not through just you, and then choose whether or not you want to fast travel to a spot. But it's not like, let me move a cursor here and hit fast travel. It's, let me find the mission or goal or parking spot I want to fast travel to, then choose to fast travel there. There's another menu that asks you, do you want to fast travel for an extra it's just too many steps. It just slows down the actual hook of the game, and I was like, nah.
I thought you were talking like, so Days Gone did something similar. Like, you can only fast travel when you're on the bike, but like you can still access the map and make a waypoint from anywhere. And then like the penalty for fast traveling was like making sure you had enough gas in your bike, which I thought was smart. It was clever because after I have a new thing with fast travel after playing Dark Souls here. I think I'm kind of...
You don't like it?
I don't think we need these big-ass maps where I have to fast travel.
No. Going back to 15, I was like, oh my god, this feels so outdated. And I don't know if that's because I've been struggling to find like a thing to play. Because I feel like everything I sit down to play, I've either already played it or... it's not grabbing me in a way, and I need something like short but completable, which is difficult to find.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I don't want to sound like that guy seeing the light like you in Japan with mobile games.
Yeah. I get it. I mean,
no, there's something with safety that's mapped with fast traveling that like in Dark Souls I don't. Like, I'm thinking, like, oh, man, should I go the long way that I know I can fly through, or do I risk going the short way and getting my souls all fucked up? And then the other thing, like, I'm thinking about is, like, an invasion can happen with me at any point.
Right.
So, and I've had it happen. I had like 10,000 souls, which I know is not much late game, but at my time of being invaded, I lost.
Yeah.
And it felt like shit.
Yeah.
So.
That's bad.
So, yeah, good map design is something I want to start looking for. It's so good in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
So it's like grade A. And Ori didn't do that either. Granted, it wasn't like the biggest map in the world, and it was Metroidvania, but like there's no fast traveling, and like going through the world and going through it was recycled areas, but it was things I couldn't access before because it's a Metroid. Like
yeah.
And I think that's a focus for me kind of going forward here.
Maybe I need one of those. That's my thing.
Ori, there you go. Ori's short, quick, in and out, and it'll be ready for Will.
I could do that. Time will tell. Well, we've got a game. Do you want to take a break and then do the game, or do you want to do the game before break?
I'm good.
All right, let's do the game. You ready?
Little game. All right.
I think you might like this one.
What do you mean might like? The other ones were fine. It's just I wasn't good at them.
I'll give you the title, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Name that Dota team.
Better than that. This game, Matt, is called What's a Wii U?
Oh, my God.
The reason I think you might like it is because we are effectively going to kill the Wii U in this game here. Okay? I don't know if you've heard, but Platinum Games worked with Nintendo, got the A-OK to make a Kickstarter for the Wonderful 101.
Correct, yes.
Which was previously a Nintendo-published exclusive game for the Wii U. It is now, through Kickstarter, coming to Switch, Steam, and PS4.
The Wonderful 101 makes sense, because probably only 101 people play that game.
You're probably not too far off. Well, it got me thinking that just a month earlier, we had Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore.
You just like saying that title, don't you? Because you know it.
Something. Over the last few years of the Switch, we've seen a number of Wii U games come across. So I figured I would pull up a list of all of the Wii U exclusive games that have only ever released on Wii U, and you tell me, will it come to Switch?
Is it, or never, just go.
So, alphabetically here. This is third party, this is indie, this is just games that only came out on the Wii U. And I believe this list may already be outdated in the last 2 weeks. Maybe not. No, it's not. Okay. Now, this is not, of course, like... just here's the list per Wikipedia.
All right.
Affordable space adventures.
No.
Okay.
Your first game answered my question of... It's like WiiWare in here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is an indie game that's, yeah. Amiibo Tap, Nintendo's Greatest Bits.
No.
Not at all?
No. Amiibo, no.
I think if I remember... Yeah, never mind. You couldn't do this one because this is the one that you would scan an Amiibo and it would unlock a demo for a Virtual Console game. And if you liked it, you could then go to Virtual Console and buy it. So definitely no.
Wasn't that something that the DS, 3DS did?
I think they put them both on there,
okay.
Yeah. In a way, kind of thing. Animal Crossing Plaza, which...
You're not going to get it.
This was like a... You just kind of walked around. It was a weird, like...
Anything Animal Crossing you're about to say you're not going to get.
And then, so Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, which was the shitty board game that sucked.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
The Mario Party Animal Crossing.
You got a game called Armillo, a 3D action puzzle.
No.
With this little fox character boy.
You got Foxy Tales out there nowadays, which is a Mario ripoff.
Oh, Lucky's Tale?
I think it's literally called like Foxy. Whatever that shit that they're talking about with Greg Miller. All the bullshit platinums. What, Foxy Tales?
Oh, okay. All right. This might be... I don't know. You're the guy here making the calls. You're the one moving these Wii U games over. So you tell me, Dr. Luigi.
No, but that's because it's probably a money making machine with Dr. Mario Mobile.
Yeah. All right. This was, I believe, like a reskin of another one. No, it was new. It was new, but it was they did Luigi because of the year Luigi. Family Party 30 Great Games Obstacle Arcade.
No.
Fast Racing Neo. I'm going to say we can ignore this because Fast Racing RMX or Remix was day one on
launch,
Switch.
yeah,
so it wasn't the same game, but it kind of already was a port. Fatal Frame Maiden of Black Water or Fatal Frame 5.
Oh, they had an exclusive Fatal Frame game? I guess that would make sense for the tablet. No, you're probably just getting a new Fatal Frame game.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because they did it with what Toad's Adventure?
Captain Toad?
Yeah.
I thought about that one for a while. And yeah.
I think it was getting a new Fatal Frame game.
Because that one too, they released
like a soft reboot.
That was that was one of their free to start things where you could play it, and then if you got to a point and you wanted more, you just bought it. It was like you got the opening. It was basically a glorified demo. Game and Wario. This is kind of like
you're gonna get a new one.
You think WarioWare instead of
because you can do stuff with the Joy-Cons. That's why. Yeah.
How about Game Party Champions?
No.
Launch title for the Wii U. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
That I could see. There's enough Kirby games.
I will counter you only because this is the one that uses the stylus to draw. I forgot it was that one. Like you have to, in order to, the gameplay is...
Well, there's that rumor of the new Switch having a stylus come next year.
Oh boy. I'm gonna say that one stays on the Wii U. These next two I'll put together. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD.
Yeah. Oh yeah. At some point they'll get a port.
Yeah. The Letter.
I know what that is.
A first-person adventure mystery game.
No.
Wikipedia says it is considered to be one of the worst video games of all time.
Yeah, definitely not.
The player takes on the role of a young boy, Michael Kennedy, who receives a mysterious letter from his missing father and sets out on a quest to find him. The game was developed on a small budget across 1 to 2 months and subsequently released on Nintendo eShop on July 10th, 2014.
These Wii U was self-published, right? Like,
kind of.
Okay.
You still had to get a Nintendo publishing account or whatever, but yeah. I think it is easier on Switch than not. All right, let's get you one that might be, well, Lost Reavers.
That sounds familiar.
So I've got it pulled up here. It's a free-to-play multiplayer online game developed and published by Namco.
Nah,
no.
Nah. Because you got
This was Project Treasure. This was Harada's game that was like, people were excited about it.
But you got Warframe nowadays.
These next three, I'm going to just nix right off the bat because you got Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympics.
You get new ones.
Mario Party 10, we already got a sequel.
Yep.
And Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, we already got a sequel. Meme Run. It never made it across. Poor Meme Run. Died on the server. I believe it's delisted also. Yeah.
Damn.
Because of copyright infringement. I don't think that one's coming across.
That sounds about right.
Maybe I should have cut this down to just first-party game, but here we are. Nintendo Land.
No. Dead.
Paper Mario Color Splash.
Did it do anything specific with the Wii U?
It didn't, but it also didn't do a lot of things great with the gameplay. Like, people didn't love this. Oh, wait, the game was developed to take advantage of the Wii U hardware, including the gamepad, touchscreen, and high-definition capabilities. Oh, right. You had this was a card-based game. Like, your attacks were all cards, and they would show up on the gamepad, and you'd physically, like, slide them, flick them forward.
Nah. Just get new Paper Marios.
Pikmin 3.
I think that has a real shot, especially if Pikmin 4...
So what
if Pikmin 4 happens, I think you just do like I think you get 3, 1, and 2 in a package.
Are the Zelda games and then Pikmin the only ones that you've said yes to so far?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because Pikmin 3, funnily enough, I wanted touchscreen controls. And they didn't add them until like almost a year after release. But originally it was all just, play normal style and the map would be on the gamepad. So that's totally doable. Pokemon Rumble U.
No. Nope.
Pushmo World.
I'm not familiar.
Pushmo is like a puzzle game developed by Intelligent Systems, the folks behind Fire Emblem. Mm-hmm. It's a flat wall of blocks, and then your character pulls a block out and then can climb on that, and you pull it out like 1 or 2 stages, and then you can climb up and pull another block out.
So,
climb up
Catherine.
Like Catherine.
I could... Something like that is something that's like a good filler in the middle of a direct.
Yeah.
And I think it would be something like that should be easy enough to happen, especially if you do like touchscreen stuff.
You think they do a port, or do you think they would bring a new one?
I think you could port it and see the success on a console that actually sells, and then maybe do a new one. I think you let the Fire Emblem people keep dumping out your Fire Emblem stuff.
Sure.
Until
that
otherwise,
burns out,
yeah.
Rabbids Land.
No.
If Ubisoft was going to bring that over, they would have done it already.
Yeah, and I think they've seen some success with the Mario and Rabbids thing they have going there.
How about Shut the Box?
That sounds familiar. Why does that sound familiar? Shut the Box.
I don't know.
I feel like that's like a...
It's based on the dice game of the same name.
Yeah. Yes. I'm going to say yes to
you
that
think
one.
That one's coming over?
Yeah, why not? It's one of those things that they just like help like a real life thing. Why not?
All right, sure. Sing Party.
Well, no.
Now this next one's probably a guarantee. Probably a lock. Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric.
No.
Splatoon, gonna say probably not because we got Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
Star Fox Guard, I'm gonna veto and just say no because that was very gamepad centric. But Star Fox Zero, another platinum failure on Wii U. I don't mean failure in that, just commercially.
Yeah.
I don't think critically.
Yeah, but I feel like critically it was the part there.
Yeah.
I think you just gotta do something new and good with Star Fox.
Yeah.
That's not that fucking Ubisoft game.
I re-downloaded that.
Why?
I wanted to play a new Star Fox.
See, look, you want a new Star Fox. You're not turning on your Wii U for zero.
I almost did, but I remembered that I had Starlink that I had to finish. And I fired it up, and I was like, oh, yeah, I remember why I left this, too. All right, we got a couple more. We're coming down to the final stretch here. Super Mario 3D World.
Didn't that do very Wii U game-heavy things, though?
Not necessarily.
Or no, sorry, that was the 3DS one.
Yes. Yeah.
I could see them porting that over.
Yeah, this one seems like prime candidate, and it seems to be the style that they leaned in heavily for promo of Mario Maker 2. I got faith in that one.
I wonder if... Because Mario Maker is not 3D. I wonder if they'll bring that as like an expansion or something, because their big thing is like expansions and development on top of games.
And there's still an
unknown thing.
Yeah, the unknown piece in Mario Maker 2. So something's coming.
I wonder if they're gonna try to do like a 3D thing.
Well, they put the 3D World stuff in there, just on a 2D plane. I don't know. How about Temple of Yog?
What?
By independent video game developer Chud Industries.
I'm gonna go with a no.
Apparently, it's a roguelike. I don't know. A game like that, though, if they're still there, you know what I mean? Like, if the developer's still there and they have a license to develop on Switch, why not?
I guess.
How about Wii Fit U?
No.
Wii Party U?
No.
Wii Sports Club?
I'm gonna say no. It's because it has Wii in front of it, but
they need another.
They can do some kind of like Wii Sports kind of thing on Switch.
I need that in my life.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
I would like that.
All right, last one. Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah, I can see that coming over.
I need that one. That was the one I wanted to play. And I kind of wanted to just buy it on Wii U, but I don't know.
Because the new one, that did come out, right?
They put Xenoblade Chronicles 2 out on... That launched on Switch. And then the original Xenoblade Chronicles with Shulk, they're remastering. That'll be out this year. This is the only one that's stuck on Wii U.
I can see them like porting it next year, the following year. Yeah. Switch has got some legs, They actually moved some units on that thing.
Yeah. All right, well then, so that means rest in peace to all those other Wii U games, trapped forever. But it looks like, according to Matt, seeing into the future, you can look forward to on your Switch at some point, Pikmin 3, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD, The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD, Shut the Box, Super Mario 3D World, and Xenoblade Chronicles X. I'd be okay with that. Well, Matt, thank you for playing What's a Wii U. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got a little bit of news to run down before we shut down for a week. We'll be right back. It's the final part of the show, which means it's the first part of the news. The only place...
I have an update.
Oh, boy.
Victoria did not know that anime.
I don't blame her.
That's all
right. Just put it on the board. Put it on the board, and by board I mean TV, and make a puzzle. And then go, look how cool that was. Want to try? That's it. That's all I got to do. Works every time, like a charm. It's the only place you can hear the news we care about. Such as Platinum 4. Kamiya saying, fuck you to the Capcom 5. Time for the Platinum 4. This is old news at this point. A lot of this is old news at this point. But the Wonderful 101 Kickstarter we talked about earlier, of course, that led into our beautiful segment just before the break, was our first of 4. Now, there's still 3 more news stories to go.
3 lingering little stars.
Now,
it says coming soon.
I don't know what's happened in the last 2 weeks with this, but when it first popped up, it was like a glitchy 4, and this typeface is very near Automata to me. I'm thinking there's a new Nier game.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's been a couple years. We don't know what Yoko Taro has been up to. That has not been officially announced.
Well, here's the thing, though. He did that Final Fantasy XIV raid that had a lot of Nier content in it. He's been working on that. There were rumors, and they were just that, but rumors that he was being given, that Square was so happy with Automata that they were going to give him Final Fantasy 16, which I don't know that that's true, but who knows?
Yeah.
But I would be happy if he were making another game with Platinum. I liked Nier a bunch. We liked it. I mean, that was Game of the Year that year, so it's... Yeah, I don't know. That Kickstarter currently sitting at $1.6 million.
So I think it hit goal.
Yeah. There was some speculation I had heard that the $50K original goal was what Nintendo would want to buy the license from, or whatever. Like, they said to Platinum, you can do this, but you need to pay us $50K. So the Kickstarter was, can we make $50K to do this? Great, then we'll bring it to Switch. And then anything on top of that is just licensing fees to get it on Steam, to get it on PS4. And then there's stretch goals for new content, side missions, stuff like that. The stretch goals they listed are up to 1.75 million. So I think they feel confident enough that they will get there. Oh, sorry. I haven't checked this in a couple days. There's now a $2 million stretch goal. So the 1.5 mil that they hit was for a side mission starring the main character. And now the $2 million stretch goal is to do another mission. Second mission is what it's called. So I backed it just because I'm excited, kind of. I didn't love I played the demo of that on Wii U, and it was kind of weird at the time, but I don't know. I dig Platinum. I think they've got a cool story, so I was like, whatever. And the neat thing about backing it on Kickstarter is that whatever DLC they do, I'll get for free. So if it's something where I would have bought this and, been super about it, I don't have to worry about...
Did you have to donate a certain tier to get all that? What was it?
Any backer gets any DLC, so that's cool. So I just did the base game. It's like, I think it was 3,900 yen. It'll be like $34 or something like that.
Not bad.
Yeah. No, not terrible. So we'll keep up on that. That's got
speculation on the other two?
I mean, we know that Platinum has been working on its own IP and building out that portfolio of self-publishing stuff. So this is going to be their first self-published title. I don't know.
You think they use that as a site to not re-reveal, but drop a trailer for Bayonetta 3?
They could.
I was thinking something Nier related. Bayonetta 3.
Yeah.
And then maybe possibly a sequel to the cover shooter. I forget the name.
Vanquish?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who owns Vanquish, though. I don't know if that's Sega. I think it's Sega. But that's another thing, too. With them getting the self-publishing, they might try and chase down publishing rights to Bayonetta from...
Nintendo was willing to flip the licensing fee for 101 to 50K.
Yeah.
Speculatively,
but yeah. I don't know. But is Bayonetta more valuable than Wonderful 101? Probably, right? She's in Smash. It's, I don't know.
But it's the Platinum 4. It might not be their own. It might not be their own IP. It just might be a special marketing thing they're doing. I don't
know. It could go either way. I could see them making the push for hey, here's our first 4 titles that are all us. But then they also got money from Tencent for something. So I don't know. It could be. We need to see Bayonetta 3. It's been way too long, but.
Was that 2017?
Yeah, because it was that
Awards?
first Switch Game Awards. Yeah. So, what's out first? Bayo 3 or Metroid Prime 4?
Bayo.
Yeah, I think so too.
Bayo.
Yeah. I still don't know. I was thinking the other day, like, do you remember last E3 that there was rumor that Retro made a Star Fox racing game?
Yeah.
Where, one, that never came to be, but two, what the fuck did Retro do for 7 years? Because Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was the last thing that team worked on, and that was 2012. Or 13. Or 14. Never mind. 2014. I am way off. It was February 2014.
I mean,
Or 13.
that could still be the case, but before they officially announced it in January, there had been
Yeah, some
murmurs
preliminary.
internally that like Metroid Prime 4 is not looking good.
Yeah.
And they started the shift to development. Maybe at that point, maybe like in whatever quarter their November quarter is, them being like, all right, you got to scrap everything. This is not fixable. I don't know.
Man. I mean, Nintendo is definitely the company that historically you just hear stories about. They finish a game and it's just like reportedly that Metroid Prime 3 trilogy is done. Has been done, but they're waiting on the right time. Pikmin was another one. Pikmin 4 has been done, supposedly.
Star Fox 2.
Yeah, right? I mean, most famous, but I don't know. A weird story. Speaking of weird stories, Castlevania Season 3 hits Netflix March 5th, finally. Looking forward to that one.
I never watched Season 2.
Season 2 was good. It had...
I don't know why I never did. I just never did.
There were a couple episodes that were kind of...
Well, the Season 2 was actually longer than the first one. Yeah.
But there was there was an a la carte ass episode. Like, you're seeing him in action. You're like, that's a la carte. Look at him. Look, he just did it. That's a la carte. That was, oof. Like, first time I watched Season 2, it was on Halloween. I fell asleep watching like 2 of the episodes, and I woke up. I was like, wait, what? All right, and I rewatched them, and I kind of sat there like not sleeping this time, but being like, And when I got to that, sat up, perked up. Speaking of perking up, PlayStation closing its Manchester VR studio after 5 years.
Yeah, this was a studio they opened, and they never announced the game.
Yeah. They're not the ones that did that demo that people played, right?
No, I don't think they did anything.
Project London or some shooter.
When I was looking at this, they seemed to not have anything. Even announced demo, nothing. Speaking
of nothing, Dan Houser leaving Rockstar after 20 years. Co-founder of Rockstar, Dan Houser. He's also been kind of the creative behind a lot of Rockstar's projects. This came out of a statement from Take-Two when they filed an SEC as part of an SEC filing that just says, we're extremely grateful for his contributions. Rockstar Games has built some of the most critically acclaimed and commercially successful game worlds, a global community of passionate fans, yada, yada, yada. He's been on leave since last March, basically, and his last day will be March 11th this year. Kind of big.
Yeah, I mean,
but also Rockstar is so huge that...
But usually, I would say it's all fine and dandy, and yeah, the studios kind of tend to outgrow a dude.
Yeah.
But then you look at BioWare,
yeah,
and their co-founders were dropping off one by one, and as they were dropping, the quality has gone down.
It's a good counter.
That's the only example I got.
Yeah,
but no, that's a big one.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What do you even do with GTA at this point, though? Like, why? I'm wondering if that's why he's leaving. Like, who knows? I also hope he's okay. Like, I feel like I've heard a lot of people talking about it. Like, people are like, "Oh, he's got money. He's been out since last March. He probably just likes being on vacation." It's like, what if he's depressed? What if he took a vacation and he was like, "Oh, I don't want to go back because this is too hard. This sucks."
Yeah, I mean, Rockstar was one of the few studios that had public outcry from overworking and overtime and all that stuff. I'm sure it wasn't just employees. I'm sure it's from top to bottom, which is not good. It's not good anywhere, but I'm sure he was getting as much.
Well, he was one of the ones that was where it came out of, because he was talking about how they would work all these long days, and he said it kind of candidly in an interview, but it was right in the midst of all of that speak about crunch. Yep. And he had to clarify, like, hey, that's just the writing team, and it's like us, because like we're friends and that's what we do. It's just our thing. It's not we're not asking the whole team to do that. It's just, you know what I mean? He had to like be very careful with whatever. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Curious to see what Rockstar becomes and what the next project is there.
Yeah, that's coming soon. That's this year.
Yeah, you think?
I think their announcement is this year.
I'd be okay with that.
It's been, over a year now since Red Dead?
Yeah. Red Dead was November 2018. And I feel like they've got that online in a place. It might not be where they want it to be, but it's...
I don't think... Their expectation should have never been GTA Online with her in that game. It's just because GTA is so fucking ridiculous because of the time. Like, you can't do that in that setting of Red Dead.
No. They're getting there, though, with stuff.
I mean, there's plenty of content, and at any point, if they grab the Undead Nightmare property and throw that into online, they could, that's just waiting to make money
when
for
they grab that and put it, I mean, GTA just reported, like, one of its strongest years in the history of it, so it doesn't mean that just because Red Dead's a couple years... Like, oh my God, they just keep making money. Speaking of making money... The Gears guy is leaving the Gears team. Rod Ferguson tweeted, starting in March, I will join Blizzard to oversee the Diablo franchise, leaving as bittersweet as I love our Gears family, the fans, and everyone at the Coalition and Xbox. Thank you. It has been an honor and a privilege to work with you all. So I didn't realize this about his history, but Rod Ferguson was... kind of in the last decade, the guy who went to, what was the studio called? Irrational, to help finish BioShock Infinite when that got all fucked up. And they needed to kind of rein it in. And then they took him into the Coalition, where they were working on another game. Remember they announced that weird like game that was like a stealth thing with like people like rappelling down the side of a building? It was like at an Xbox press conference at E3, probably like 2013 or 14. It was like that Scalebound year when they announced all that big shit.
Oh, a lot of that.
Crackdown 3. They were like, hey, we just started a new development studio called The Coalition, and they're going to be making this. And then he had kind of left Epic to go there or something. I forget his old timeline, but did that and then became the Gears guy over the years or whatever. But now he's making Diablo, and good luck.
Good on him.
I'm still real torn with Diablo. Like it sucks because I just can't, like, after all that dumb shit last year, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep.
They gotta be careful because that game just released called WoW 10.
Dude.
And I just keep hearing things about it.
I had no idea that existed, and I watched like 4 minutes of it, and I was like, I'm gonna buy this.
Yeah,
I almost bought it last night.
Nick, out of I usually leave him alone because he's in school or whatever.
Yeah,
getting his master's. I was like, whatever. He's probably not playing it. He texted me, I think last night, and was like, dude, you should probably play WoW 10. I'm like, I'm playing Dark Souls.
Shit.
So
is it a multiplayer thing?
I don't know. A little digging.
She's $40. I know that.
$40.
But no, I'm saying it wasn't an impulse. You know what I mean? Like if it was a little bit cheaper, I would have pulled the trigger right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was enough to make me go, let me give it a minute to breathe.
Peek. Yeah, no, I get that. But no, I'm saying like
it's third right now on Steam. Like it's right there.
So like I'm just saying like Diablo isn't just like I think automatic sell at this. Like I think it will move units just based on name, but it has to be something.
I was excited, like even in the wake of all the dumb Blizzard shit last year, where I was kind of like cold on that. I was like, look, we all got hard for Lilith. I get it, right? But then it just after that, like in the wake of that, I'm sitting here like, when is that game? What is that game? Because, like, really, like, what is that game? What's the next evolution of that in the current climate of what Activision is? And you know what I mean? And I just don't. I feel like I want to move somewhere else. And yeah, like stuff like this, Wolcen. How do you? It's WOLCEN. Lords of Mayhem. You've got this. I mean, Path of Exile as well is another one. This I saw the skill tree for this. Did you see that?
No.
You've seen the Path of Exile one, right?
Yeah.
It is bigger than that.
Jesus
Christ. Like, dude. It's like they were making this and they were like, people are going to call us Path of Exile, so why don't we just do it? I don't know, man. Just seeing some of the screenshots of it, I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. It does have online co-op, so we're back at it. All right, before this iPad dies here, I guess the next big one. Oh, good call. The next big one we got here, Anthem.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. I did read it at the time.
Yes.
And I have forgotten everything since that time.
The gist of it is Casey Hudson said that they are basically... He didn't say, y'all read that Kotaku article, right? But in as many words, everything that Kotaku article said regarding Anthem, where BioWare is attempting to pull kind of a Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, they're gutting this game. They're going to continue to maintain what is currently there for active players. And he said, like, you know, hey, we love the flying in this game and, you know, the great mechanics of shooting and things like that. And we're going to retain those while overhauling this game entirely. So don't know. It's funny because right before this went live, well, before this had gone up, there was the EA thing that we talked about where there was no discussion of Anthem on that call, which was a little bit like, okay. And then I think a day or two before this blog post went up on BioWare, I saw a tweet from a person who was playing the game and said, decided to log on to Anthem. It's extra sad when you see the Christmas decorations are still up. And it was like, oh man, that feels like something. And then now they're doing it again.
Good luck.
Yeah, I don't think I care. You know, like there's other games to play. There's other things to do. I'm curious to see what it spins out to be, but
there's too much. I'm going to stick with that. I think there's too much competition to be able to pull this off. I mean, I know everyone points at Final Fantasy XIV, but how many console MMOs were there when they pulled that off? I mean, that was before
Warframe was really early.
I don't even think Elder Scrolls Online was a thing.
It wasn't.
when they relaunched Final Fantasy XIV. So
granted, you have the Final Fantasy name, so that does help a bit. But I mean, Anthem's not a name, and BioWare is a shaky name at this. You know what I mean? So it's
I don't have a lot of hope. For this. I mean, I hope it pans out. It's just, you know, you got other games that do this MMO light thing.
Yeah. Speaking of MMO lights, HQ Trivia shuts down after 3 years.
RIP.
Of course, this is well after the departure of famed host Scott Rogowski.
Yep.
Once that happened, it was kind of like, well, but they stuck around for quite a bit. But yeah, now it is finally shut down.
Was it everything? Because they had a couple of those side things. I'm sure they're closing too, but...
Oh, apparently the game faced a problem with bots.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too.
and popularity fizzled out. Yeah, they had other stuff, but the company made layoffs in July of last year, and yeah. I mean, nothing like that can last, right? It's a tough one to stick around with.
Yeah.
Speaking of tough ones to stick around with, E3 looking like it's in some cold water this year as another one bites the dust. One, Jeff Keighley made a statement titled "A Statement from Jeff Keighley on E3." For the past 25 years, I have attended every electronic entertainment expo. Covering, hosting, and sharing E3 has always been a highlight of my career, not to mention a defining part of my career. I've debated what to say about E3 2020. While I want to support the developers who will showcase their work, I also need to be open and honest with you, the fans, about precisely what to expect from me. I have made the difficult decision to decline to produce E3 Coliseum. For the first time in 25 years, I will not be participating in E3. I look forward to supporting the industry in other ways and at other events in the future.
Damn.
Yep. Now, in the replies, someone said, I hope Gamescom is one of your other events. You did a very good job last year. Don't want to give too much credit. And he said, yep, we will be doing opening night live in August. So he's already locked into that, but not going to be doing that. Yeah, I don't know what E3 is going to be this year.
I don't either.
I think we're still not, it's not totally done yet, right? Because if people still do press conferences around that week, then we'll still have something to do that week. But we don't know yet. You know what I mean?
I think it's official that the PlayStation giant pillar has fallen. I think we didn't know last year. That was just like more in that gray area between consoles and PlayStation.
Yeah, now they're like,
but
no, we're not.
Yeah, if they're not doing it this year, they're not going to do it any other year.
Yeah,
until it changes drastically.
Yeah,
Nintendo's always kind of had, or at least recently, one foot in, 1 foot out. Like they've always had the booths.
Yeah,
but their direct is a direct, not an actual press conference.
Yeah, not in a building at a thing.
EA moved their thing from E3 out of E3.
Right.
Really, your last remaining big pillar is Microsoft,
and even they don't do that. Like they
don't have a booth, right?
They bought the theater,
or isn't their booth that stage?
Yeah, I feel like their booth on the show floor was not the same. I think their booth on the show floor they turned into like xCloud.
Oh,
was
it a mix? Wasn't it a mixer stuff too?
It was yeah, and then they did all their stuff like right there in the same room of their theater, so they're not even in the building. It's it's gonna be a weird year for sure. But I mean, honestly, that show sounds like shit. It sounds like they're doing like a bad. It sounds like they're doing a bad mall tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got a bad mall tour with some good money behind it that they can bring in celebrities, but
we need Weed 3 back.
Yeah, dude. Get
those
Zac Efron high and everything will be all right.
Yeah, bring back Wiz, bring back Snoop.
Let's see. We got, speaking of getting high, full minor league rosters are coming to MLB The Show 20. So this is the stuff where, like, day one, you usually go in and you're like, all right, let me update from what the community's put up.
Yeah,
right?
I usually have to wait a couple of days for everyone to get their hands on everything, customize it. But, yeah, dude, they are
official support
doing it. So I did not know, when I was looking into this a little bit more, they hired a bunch of those people that make those rosters.
Oh, that's cool.
So
that's really
I think they're just letting them do their dedicated team thing.
Yeah.
The one question, I don't think they've announced it yet, is so MLB The Show, you do have single A players because it goes from MLB, AAA, AA, then single A.
Mm-hmm.
There are single A players. Like, you can kind of, like, in franchise mode, have them down there, but you can't, it's, like, not an actual team. Like, you can't play their games like you can with AA or AAA if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if it will go all the way down to single A, or if it's just AA and up. Now, the interesting thing here is, and we talked a lot of sports here and about unionizing and all that. The MILB is like its own thing, so I'm sure in partnership with them, it might be the entire minor league rosters.
Yeah. Are they going to fall into that NCAA stuff?
No, they get paid. They don't get paid a lot, but they get paid.
Yeah, okay. My follow-up question for San Diego Studio: where's Mod Nation Racers? Sup? We need another. Did you ever play those?
Nah,
dude.
They were decent.
Slide that Vita out. Charge that baby up.
Give it life.
Yes. Give it life to give you life. Really, honestly. Yeah, man, that's a good one.
It was big. I mean, San Diego. They had quite the system coming up here. I wasn't really all that interested, but this kind of piqued my interest again this year. Yeah. I was gonna wait till PlayStation 5. There was rumors that they might do a PlayStation 5 version late in the year.
Oh, okay.
For this, so maybe I was gonna wait for that, but I'm kind of fucking excited. Yeah, with minor league rosters, they announced some other changes. They've put even more RPG mechanics into the show, like the Road to the Show mode. I'm kind of excited again, despite all the shit that's coming out in March and April and all that.
Yeah, this quarter's gonna suck.
Yeah,
a lot. Speaking of sucking a lot, EA has moved Need for Speed development back to Criterion, and Ghost Games is becoming an EA engineering hub with 30 staff at risk, that sucks. A lot.
Need for Speed games weren't good.
No, but
I know. I no one likes to lose a job. Trust me. I mean,
yeah, but I don't know.
I understand the move, though.
Yeah, and Criterion made the games that people like, so, but who of Criterion is even there anymore? That's my question.
Did they do the remaster themselves for Burnout Paradise? Or did they port that out?
I don't think so, because it says that Criterion has spent the last 5 years supporting EA DICE on Star Wars Battlefront, Battlefront 2, and Battlefield 5.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully. Well, Heat is still coming, right?
Heat already came out.
That's right.
So there's your answer. Speaking of coming out, got a Xbox One with Michael Jordan branding.
Yeah.
Comes with Michael Jordan shoes.
I wasn't going to post it until I saw the unboxing. I saw a pair of shoes came with this.
Wild. So, the controllers are fucking cool looking.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the simple Jordan branding on stuff. Yeah. I'm not a big Jordan shoes wearer. I literally just wear Vans 24/7.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of like it.
It's neat.
If I won that, I wouldn't be mad. Let's just say that.
Huh. Just stay off Twitter. That's what I'll say. He gets it.
Yeah. Yeah, that with a copy of NBA 2K20. Sure.
Yeah, why not? I think we're coming around the edges there. We talked about E3 for a second, so I will mention that 2020 badges went on sale Saturday. You get a 2-day gamer badge for just $165, and of course, if you want 3-day all access, it's just a cool $995. That's your E3 report in a nutshell. All right,
Why so?
Because
isn't it supposed to be the other way? You commit to 3 days, so you pay a little less for the. Isn't that typically how that stuff works?
Yeah, but I don't. All right, you ready? We're gonna close out a little rumor.
A little room.
Yeah. So I don't know about this, and frankly, I'm fucking over it. But let's dance in this shit a little bit. It's been a Batman week, so let's dance in a little Batman rumors. Got the old Batman tease out there on Twitter from Matt Reeves, director. Here you go. Some website called Geeks Worldwide says that sources close to Geeks Worldwide have confirmed that WB Montreal's new Batman game is a soft reboot of the Arkham franchise. A sequel was considered early on with Bruce Wayne's son Damian taking over the cape and cowl. This was canceled before WB Montreal got a chance to announce it at the Game Awards in 2016. There was a string of different ideas and management shifts before the studio decided to settle on a fresh start away from the Arkhamverse. Reportedly, the new Batman game will kick off a new, somewhat cohesive DC game universe. Shortly after its release this fall, it will be followed up by a next-gen DC game from Rocksteady Studios. The roadmap from there is foggy, but sources say that a next-gen Superman game, not developed by Rocksteady, is also in the works at Warner Brothers, and nothing confirmed yet. Details on plot, story, gameplay are being kept tightly under wraps. We know that it will feature a playable Bat family, the infamous Court of Owls, and have the introduction of co-op into the franchise. I don't know about this. What are you thinking?
A game universe.
That's
think hefty.
It is, but I guess the idea being that Warner Brothers owns all these properties and they want to...
No, I mean, go for it. I'm like... Making a movie, it's very, like... The process is very cut and dry at this point, and the turnaround time isn't terribly long.
Yeah.
Once all your pre-production stuff's done, it's pretty cut and dry, the process to get from that point to
edit, market,
theater.
go. Yeah.
I feel like video games have too much of a wild card to them, too many moving pieces, and scripts usually aren't at the forefront of a game to kind of piece it all together.
Yeah.
Like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, yeah, you can throw in a line or two to nod at another Marvel movie. I mean, you could do it with like a side quest.
I
it's
think
harder.
what you need here is a dude. Like, you need someone.
Kevin Feige.
Yeah, well, and like Jeff Johns was your dude for that stuff in the comic book world at DC for as long as he was there, right? Like, he would be the guy where anything that got made, whether it was a Funko Pop or a movie or a TV show, it went through Jeff Johns. Like, he had to give it the stamp of approval. Granted, some things were going to happen either way, but, you know, he made sure that the lore was happening, right? So, and that everything was tied in a way that made sense. You need a guy like that can just make sure that canonically everything fits. I think it's doable. It is a big ask, but if you're under this big Warner Brothers umbrella, I can see where it could work. Latest rumors I saw about the Rocksteady stuff is that it's Suicide Squad. People seem to hint that. It's a game as a service, and it's Suicide Squad. Which, I don't know, man. Like, Suicide Squad's cool and all, but... And this is not me just because I want a Green Lantern game, because I really want a Green Lantern game. But...
I hope it... I'd be on board that they can pull this off. It's just... That's a big ask.
You want co-op in a Batman game?
Not really.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, they tried to do it at night. Not, like, actual, like, co-op, but they had the computer AI.
Yeah.
And that was, like,
For me, it was cool seeing all those characters on screen.
And interact, yeah.
You know, like, after a decade of playing as Batman almost, to have Nightwing and Robin and Batgirl jumping around, that was cool, but, yeah. Don't know. Either way, it's coming. I think it's time.
It's just... it'd be really cool if, like... If they could pull... Like, could you imagine, like... Alright, so you start with... That WB Montreal game has to be coming this year, right?
Yeah.
All these teases and stuff like that. So you get that. Shortly after, maybe even next quarter, you get the Rocksteady game. Or maybe, like, at 6 months later or whatever.
Yeah.
What if that leads... Maybe they can get another game in, depending on what other studios are working that we don't know about. But then, like, those two things set up the Injustice game. Or is not Injustice. They title it something else, but it's still a DC fighter. And then they can use that as, like, a lack of a better term. I'm sure DC has a term for this, but they're, like... Well, Injustice is their Civil War.
Yeah.
And then that splinters out to a couple other games where these heroes are interacting.
I could see that. Big Justice League. Yeah, that's not a bad.
You do a Batman game to introduce some good guys. You can do the Suicide Squad to get your anti-heroes. Yeah. They are at the forefront of this Injustice game or whatever. Maybe it's not Injustice because I know that has a lot to do with Superman.
Well, here's the only thing with Injustice. Think about this. Mortal Kombat announced that it's making a second season of DLC. So how does that impact the structure release schedule they've had for the last decade?
Maybe it's to allow these games to come in.
So we don't get a new fighting game next spring. They just keep pushing MK11.
Yeah, why not?
For another year. Well, I'm just looking back over since 2011, it's been 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, right? So you kind of would assume, but now it seems like, all right, well, they're doing another round, another fighter pack or whatever. So maybe there's no fighting game. And then, then you get the big Suicide Squad game out next year. That feels weird to say. I don't want to play a Suicide Squad
then
game.
whoever's making the Superman game, that rumor's true. You get the Superman game out there, and that could lead into a catalyst for an Injustice game. Even though that'd be weird because it would be like a soft reboot in a way.
Yeah. But I could see that if you think about where MK11 went, where they kind of are resetting their own timetable.
Literally the timeline, yeah.
So maybe they were done telling their Injustice story and they want to just make a superhero fighting game.
Or bring the MK universe into the... Just try that again.
They could. Why not? They just brought Joker into MK11, so I don't know. Either way, I need some announcements, man.
You're getting that WB Montreal game this year. I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, I'm going to need them.
If you just said, hey, guys, this is our game Arkham and it's out tomorrow...
Yeah,
that would work.
Yeah, you're right. I'm ready. Speaking of DC, though, there's a sequel to Metal coming out this summer. The book by Scott Snyder, and I already forgot what it's called now, but it's badass. It's got Batman on a motorcycle with a scythe. Wonder Woman is wearing the skull of the Batman Who Laughs, which is good because the Batman Who Laughs kind of blew up in a Deadpool kind of way to me. I was getting those vibes again with all the fans of Batman Who Laughs. Have you seen that one?
Mm-mm.
It's imagine Batman, but he's got his whole face covered, and then where his eyes would be, he's got a spiked collar that goes all the way around his head. Very edgelord style. Yeah, it's cool. But then people took it to that Jingo Jeans territory. Don't get me wrong, Jingo Jeans are all right, hold on. I need to just take let's close this out with a quick peek. What do Jingo Jeans actually look like on a person? Oof. Oh no. Dude.
There's got to be a Limp Bizkit video out there where Fred Durst wearing them, right?
I imagine. That's pretty bad. Gene Company, Oh, boy. So what's this week in Matt look like?
Dark Souls.
There you go.
I'll probably touch that not for broadcast game again.
Yeah.
Try to complete it. But yeah, Dark Souls. I'm hoping... I'm going to have some time off. I'll be hurting. I'm getting wisdom teeth pulled, but I don't think I'm going to be hurting that bad. We're going to see how much I want to play Dark Souls during my time off, but I think I'd be able to get a good chunk done. Maybe not beat it, but a chunk.
Depends on the what do you call it? Whatever they put you on. I got loopy after that and just played Gran Turismo, and it was fine.
Yeah.
I also punched the wall. Just had a bad reaction to the anesthesia.
That happens.
To be 20,
Well, you know what's funny? I still have the tab up for the minor league thing. Tim Tebow could be in MLB The Show 20. I kind of forgot about that. Tim Tebow is in the minor league system for the Mets.
Oh. Who is that?
Huh?
Why do I know that name?
Tim Tebow, the football player.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Baseball boy, huh?
Yep.
Weird. Very weird.
Yeah.
I think I had something. I don't remember. I don't know.
What were you playing?
No, it was something else I had. But yeah, no, I don't know what I'm doing. I might check out that fake Diablo. I don't know. I kind of want to play the coin game. You seen that on Steam? Also looks rad.
Sounds familiar.
It's $9, and you walk through like a fake arcade on your fake birthday and play games.
Yes. All right. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I don't know why, but I kind of want to just play that for a while, maybe. So we'll see. Don't know. Other than that, I'll keep grinding on Fire Emblem and Yakuza here and there. And that'll do it.
How far along are you in Yakuza?
Chapter 8 or 9. I think there's like 12 chapters. I'm rounding the edges. But there's times where I like fire it up and I'm like, I'm just going to go hang out at the arcade. Or I'm just going to go to the batting cages. Batting cages are fun. But yeah. Getting there.
What the hell is that?
What?
I'm looking at a trailer for Coin Game. He's like carrying around this like a gun.
Oh, dude, you can play laser tag.
Oh, was that what that was? Oh, I bet you that's what it was. This is so dumb.
It's real dumb. It is exceptionally dumb.
Is this multiplayer? Could we like be in the same lobby together?
If it isn't yet, it will be as they continue to develop it in early access.
God, there's go-karts.
Yeah.
I'll never need to go to Dave & Buster's again.
Dude, you might not need to. You put your name in and then you walk
Oh my god,
in.
you literally ride rides.
Dude,
oh my god.
It's there. It is fucking there. Well, that's going to do it for us for the week. Enjoy Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, the game, the movie, if you're going to see it this week. Enjoy whatever you're doing. Have fun.
What the hell is that? You deliver papers?
Do life. Deliver papers. It's probably tickets.
No, I'm definitely... Dude, the end of the trailer, you're in a golf cart. It looks like you're picking up trash. What?
Mm-mm.
Dude, there's a thing there that says... paper delivered, you got $2, and then all of a sudden you're at your house feeding like a duck.
Weird.
This is deeper than just the arcade, Joe.
All right. Fair.
I think that was you working to get money for the arcade.
Okay. I'm down. I'm real down. I'm peeking at that Wolcen Lords of Mayhem, and I thought it was getting review bombed for some dumb reason, and it's not for a dumb reason. People are saying that they're playing and it keeps, it's very buggy and keeps losing their progress after 18 hours. So a lot of people are...
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe let us do.
Yeah. So we'll see. Well, that's it. If you like this episode and you want to hear more of them, you can go to thefreecheese.com where all of our stuff has been, and always will be. You can follow us on Twitter. The Free Cheese is at Some Free Cheese. Matt is at MattyIce131, and I am at The Free Cheese. We'll be back in another week with another episode. Until next time, thank you, Matt. Thank you, listener. Bye.